Hey everybody, it is Marley K. I'm back again with another story for you. This story is from the AP. I actually have two stories for you, but it is about energy exports being cut off and why we need to pay attention to this, because this is a form of warfare. This is having energy being weaponized, and we're all collateral damage, especially if you are living in the West. So I want to talk about it because if you are located in the Northeast, then it's important, but you could be located anywhere for this particular story about Ontario. And I know you've heard about Trump imposing tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China when he takes office. And those nations are starting to retaliate back. Well, when they retaliate, they're going to impact us. Everything that they do is going to impact us. So we need to be prepared for pain. That's the bottom line. So, this first story says Ontario Premier says U.S. energy exports will be cut off if Trump imposes sweeping tariffs on Canada. This story came out on December the 11th, 2024, and it's on the Associated Press's website. A link will be in the description. The premier of Canada's most populous province said Wednesday he will cut off energy to the United States if President-elect Donald Trump imposes sweeping tariffs on all Canadian products. Trump has threatened to impose a 25% tax on all products entering the U.S. from Canada and Mexico unless they stem the flow of migrants and drugs. We're going to put our list together, and I'm sure other provinces will as well. But we will go to the full extent depending on how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off energy, Ontario Premier Doug Ford said after meeting with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and other provincial premiers. Ford said he didn't want this to happen, but was optimistic Canada could avoid tariffs. Quote, this fight is 100% coming on January 20th or 21st, he said, end quote, referencing to the date of Trump's inauguration. We will use every tool in our toolbox to fight back. We can't sit back and roll over. We just won't as a country. And isn't this a shame? Our closest friends and allies. About 60% of U.S. crude oil imports are from Canada, and 85% of U.S. electricity imports as well. So this is huge. A lot of the energy that we use comes from outside of the country. And so, to me, when Kamala Harris gave her concession speech and she said it was going to be a cold winter, and if I'm not mistaken, Papa has said this in the past too. This is the time that I think they were talking about. They say things sometimes and we don't, stuff doesn't happen right away. They kind of speak in code and they speak, a couple of years in advance. I feel like this is that time. I think they've been spraying the skies, making it cold, dealing with the weather, creating situations where it's going to be colder than normal. Everything is more expensive, so people are struggling. And if you're going to create chaos and multiple forms of chaos, this is just another thing that people have to worry about. So if you live in the north, or just if you're in the US, you need to be worried about energy. You need to worry about fuel, and you need to worry about power. So you need to have backup ways to generate heat so that you can stay warm. And there are lots of solutions on YouTube that you can use to create heat for your house in the event that something happens. You need to be preparing, and you should have been already preparing. If you've been watching my channel, I've been telling you, I tell you to prepare every time I do a video. So for the last couple of years, you should be getting ready. You should be ready by now. You should have extra blankets. You should have candles. You should have found some type of solution to keep you warm in the event something happens. Fire pits, cans outside your house, chopped wood ready, have axes, machetes, hatchets, matches, lighters, strikers, whatever, lighter fluid, gas. You need to be prepared for a lot of different things, because I'm telling you, these people are going to exact pain on us, and it's not going to be just the one thing. Now, I'm not saying any resource that you have is going to save your life, because if they just decide they're going to use these drones and zap us from the sky, hey, we'll be like the people in Maui or the people in Southern California when they have those wildfires. There's nothing that we could do except for flee. But you need to be prepared for a lot of different things. You need to be prepared to move suddenly. You need to be prepared for power outages. You just need to be prepared for anything. You need to have non-perishable food items so that you can cook. This just ain't no time to be sitting on your hands, and it's no time to be fearful and stressed. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he was like, I don't want to know nothing about this stuff because it's just stress. It's just stressing me out. I don't need nothing else to worry about. And I'm like, nigga, you is a man. How you gonna protect your family if you sitting around here don't want to worry about nothing, but everybody gonna be looking at you for what you gonna do when things hit the fan? I don't understand. And he was just like, I don't know. I know it's not good, but I'm just telling you. I'm like, oh gosh. So you're gonna have more people like that with that attitude and not be prepared. Don't be one of those people, because those people gonna be out in the streets fighting for their life, fighting to get stuff out of the store for scraps, and it's just gonna be ugly. So anyway, the next story is from Moldova. This is on MSN. It came out. I don't know. Let's see. I can't tell because they always have these big old ads where you can't see nothing. But anyway, Moldova declares energy emergency amid fears of Russian gas cutoff. So, Moldova's parliament has voted to impose a state of emergency in the country's energy sector, bracing for potential disruptions to its natural gas supplies from Russia this winter. Again, the people are going to be collateral damage. All these kings and presidents and prime ministers are going to war, but the people are going to be the collateral damage. So you got to understand this. Your government ain't going to be able to do but so much for you because of globalization. The decision, which passed the broad support in Moldova's 101-seat legislature on Friday, will take effect on December 16th and it lasts for 60 days. The move comes amid growing concerns that Moscow may cut off gas supplies to Moldova, a European Union candidate country of 2.5 million people, as part of its broader strategy to destabilize countries in the region. The state of emergency grants the government the power to implement urgent measures to manage risk posed by a potential energy crisis, particularly if Moscow fails to provide the natural gas needed for Moldova's largest power plant, the Kuchurgan facility, located in the breakaway pro-Russian Transnistria region. Why is Moldova so worried about its gas supply? Prime Minister Dorian Risian described the situation as exceptional, warning that Moldova could face a deliberate weaponization of energy supplies by Russia. I want to stop right here because this could happen to anybody, any nation, any state, anybody. So we're going to be collateral damage. So this is why you got to prepare. And it doesn't matter what continent you're on. Resources are global. Unless you are completely self-sufficient and you live someplace and you don't need anything, you're okay. But other than that, if you if you get a utility bill, if you got a car, you got to go to the gas station, if you drive back and forth to work, if you work for somebody, like everybody and everything is impacted by this. So it could literally cause a lot of pain for a lot of people. Such an action, he stressed, could leave Moldovans without heat or electricity during the harsh winter months. Recian said, the risks are real and the goal is to create panic and chaos. So you heard that, right? The Kursagan power plant, which is crucial for Moldova's electricity supply, is powered by natural gas supplied by Russian energy giant Gazprom. The plant was privatized in 2004 by authorities in Transnistria and sold to a Russian state-owned company. Moldova does not recognize this privatization. So anyway, gotta prepare, family. Keep prepping, keep praying, keep seeking the Most High. Everything is about to be weaponized. Food, energy, water, shelter, everything.